We're in the basement. This is the main drain going out to the house. It's old cast iron. And here at this junction, this newer construction is attached with this adapter. That's all the stuff from the kitchen. And here is another adapter going to this big section of PVC that runs down towards the bathroom stuff. If I can show it to you. And connects back to cast iron over there. Keep that in mind. It's going to be important in just a second. Here's another look at that. This is the other end of that PVC. You can see there it ties on to that cast iron, which goes up to be the drain for the sink. That ties into the main vent line there, going up through the roof. The vent line comes down to a T there. Comes over here, the toilet drain. Then a much smaller diameter pipe comes here for the bath drain. You can't really see it, maybe a snippet of it. There's a clean-out valve down there. It's got two Ys connected to each other. And then another vent going up through the roof. Now on the plumbing, my thought, and I've got to get a plumber out here, a plumbing friend, to give me some advice on this. I know that I could cut that cast iron right there and tie PVC to that vent, replace all this with PVC, just recreate this. I'll check code to see if the cleanout valve needs to be moved differently or if a bath drain needs to be a different diameter than this or whatever. And that would give me the ability to replace all this cast iron from here to there. And right on top of the T is where I would tie into the old cast iron, because I don't think I can afford to replace the cast iron stuff going through the roof line. My concern is if I cut that, what is bearing the weight of all that cast iron going up? So that's something I need to figure out. Maybe I do a cut there and a cut there and leave that T on the ground. I don't know. But the issue is this sink drain is all messed up. It's COB. I can do an adapter to that, or I could put on some new threads and a compression fitting, or I could pick out the lead and stuff and maybe thread in a new connection into the cast iron. But if I could just make a cut right there and replace that with PVC, that gives me a lot more leeway with the sink drain. Same for the bath drain. Same for the toilet drain. I could even reposition things. I could have the toilet over here to the left of the door and move the bathtub centered beneath the window. That'd be nice. It all depends on what a structural plumber says about the weight of this cast iron coming down. I don't want to bear the weight of that cast iron on this old wood here, so I'm not sure about that. I know that aside from the weight, that'd be a very easy thing to do. Now, one plumber quoted $5,500 to do this. The other plumber quoted $3,500 to do this. That's when they would have to crawl under the house, so I could do it from here. So I think it's, zip with the Sawzall, and then PVC is very easy to cut to length. Anyway, still got to research that. You can see I've got the floor out, obviously. And this joist is in really bad shape. They sistered it in here and then reinforced that on that side. These two are pretty good. This one's got some damage down at that end. They sistered it in, but they didn't do a full span. And these 2x4s going around and the 2x6s going around, even that 2x10, are just to have a surface area for the floor to attach to. But it's not at any kind of level. You can see it's really high there and then drops down. In this area, I'm not quite sure what to do. There's a little bit of damage to the sill there. On another day, I'll show this up close when I can get down there. I'm not feeling like getting down there today. I spent all day in here yesterday. I got to do amp work today. There's some damage to the sill there and some damage to the sill plate there. And it looks like the sill plate is resting on top of the old floorboards, that they put the floorboards down throughout the entire house. And then they put in the sill plates on top of that. So I got to figure out how to do that. Maybe I could put a 4x4 bolted to all these studs here, and get two jacks and just lift this up just enough for me to get the right thickness of wood to make up for the old floorboards, and put a new sill in there. You can see they've just got some 2x4s there, where they've done that in a very small area. It is a load-bearing wall, but it's not been bearing a lot of the load. I think it's just been kind of hanging so much as supporting itself. This one I'm not as concerned about. That's pretty easy to do. That could wait, in fact, till the new floor is in place. But I do plan on getting under the house and making sure that this board and this board have no other damage anywhere else. From what I've seen from going under the house into other areas, it's only this bathroom that has this water damage to the joists, which makes sense. The rest of the house seems to be in really good shape. And I'm pretty sure that this is water damage, not termites. That's termite, but this is water. So you can see they've got these terrible piers. I'll probably dig some holes and make some actual piers, not just pieces of paving stone, but actual concrete pour, and get it all centered. This joist and this joist, let's see how far down the damage goes. Like the top of this looks horrible, but about 3 inches down, it seems to be solid again. So if I can get all the yuck out, just to be sure that there's good wood to grab into on the other side, I would put 2 new boards on either side of this, but have them run the entire length. Pardon me. I put 2 new boards on either side of this, but have them run the entire length to the center beam of the house. And I can get some straps so that they are attached to the beam at each end, and then bolted and screwed really tight, because this is not any kind of tight, to this old joist. And then once that's done, I'll make sure in the process when I put in the new boards that everything is level this way and level this way. And then I'll put in cross pieces to reel it, because this needs to have cross pieces, especially over by a toilet, by underneath a bathtub, and they never did. So some good solid wood going this way will really help. I'll replace this old register, get all that cleaned up, that old vent, and get a good connection that's not leaking into the basement or letting basement air through. There's a lot of things I could talk about right now. Right now, I've got a plumbing decision to make before I can even begin to do things about floors and walls and stuff. And I've got to deal with some woodwork here on an actual framing scale, and digging in some concrete piers that are worth something, that'll really last. And I gotta, so we've got that blue plastic wire that was used up to about 1995. That's a hot water supply. They've got it tapped off to copper, and then that copper goes to PVC for the hot. And over there, it was just coming out of the floor as that hose. And then we got galvanized steel for the cold. And that galvanized steel also has a little nipple to copper, then to PVC for the cold here. So all that's going to get replaced with PEX. And I will have that PEX probably running supported to this board down the length, and then going up into the wall here, and over there, and then bring it over here and have it go up into the wall. I'm probably going to do a bathtub fitting that comes through the floor for the hot and cold there. Some really nice chrome over brass for the vintage tub, depending if I can move the tub on this axis or stays on this axis. And that joist is a problem for having the fittings on this axis, but I can make that work. And the drain issue, as I mentioned, is always fun. But other than that, the only issue with PEC is people worry about it leaking at the connections. Up top, they'd have shutoff valves, and then there's a crawl space access from the outside right here. We've got it blocked up temporarily. But if I have any other connections done here, I can easily access it from the outside, and the other connections would be done in the basement where I can stand. A place where we started this crappy looking, spooky video that most people never got this far on. But if you're really interested in this kind of stuff, this is the deep magic. Thanks for watching.